Michelle Lauer, the senior class president, will now give our first commencement address.
Hello to the graduating Ridge High School class of 2008 and all of those who've helped us make it this far. I'm Michelle Lauer, and I had the honor of being class president this year for the seniors of 2008. My grandparents' generation saved the world when the stakes were high. They followed FDR to Europe and Eisenhower to Korea. As they so frequently remind us, they lived in a world where a sack of candy cost a nickel and you respected your elders. To go on a tangent quickly, I'm the luckiest girl in the world today because I have the fortune of having two sets of grandparents in the audience tonight. So, grandparents, I love you and thank you for coming. My parents' generation, thanks. My parents' generation was rebellious at our age. While Carter coped with the Iran hostage crisis, my parents enjoyed a few short months of legal drinking at 18 and then sauntered off to college on somewhat of a whim. They grew up in an era more forgiving to young people when scoliosis wasn't a result of college credit, SATs, and extracurriculars. Our generation is quickly becoming the yuppies that my parents scorned. We are the most overprotective, overmonitored, and over-scrutinized batch of youngsters on record. We were the babies of baby on board. We were the babies for whom living rooms were baby-proofed. We were the babies who were monitored by baby monitors and the children who benefited from parental advisory labels. We are the adolescents who, by almost never making the mistakes our parents made, are doing them proud. You know, it's a really funny thing because our parents have done everything they can to give us the best lives possible, and I can't even begin to imagine the sacrifices and the amount of hard work that takes for us to live in a town like Basking Ridge. And yet, when my dad was younger, he used to crawl into his neighbor's doghouse and bark at anyone who dared pass. Talk about humble origins. Our whole generation has had everything given to us, so yes, on the one hand, we are extremely grateful, but on the other, we are sometimes passive and sometimes apathetic, and we don't really know what to do about it. We've been told what to do for so long that the idea of freedom is a bit daunting, and yet so extremely welcome. Look around the hallways of Ridge and you'll see, with a few welcome exceptions, that we're all wearing pretty much the same thing. It's kind of like there's only one store in town. Oh wait, that's true. But even though we are so completely similar and overprotected inside the Basking Ridge bubble, we are remarkably individualistic. Martin Luther King said, "It's that creative minority that always changes history." And I really think Ridge's legacy is just that. Creative and daring leaders. If we are to follow the precedent we established in the last 4 years, it mustn't follow the trends of society towards conformity. Our class has the extremely rare and incredibly exceptional honor of being the last age group eligible to vote in the upcoming presidential election. This election is extraordinary because of our four running candidates are an African American, a prisoner of war, and until recently, a woman. AP Gov teacher Miss Marin recently cited Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech when she suggested that perhaps our generation really has realized Dr. King's speech and his dream of basing judgment not by the color of one's skin, but by the content of one's character. And the fact that it doesn't even occur to us that we are, in fact, accomplishing this feat helps to prove her point. And this notion lends a sense of triumph for our parents, grandparents, and all the generations before us who have seen what life is like when the majority isn't ready to accept the minority, the individual. So let's let our privileged upbringings and that sense of entitlement that is coupled with such origins empower us. Ask any teacher who has ever taught a senior at Ridge, and without hesitation, they will wholeheartedly agree that we have no problem making demands. Whether we're demanding a higher grade, less homework, the chance to speak, or the right to host a walkout and senior barbecue, we do not back down. So let's let that sense of entitlement, the ability to demand, and demand the change we want to see in the world. We don't know how to stop a war, challenge an administration, or reclaim our media, but we have the opportunity to learn. So go out and get involved, register to vote, believe in yourselves. Let's be that creative minority of thinkers and activists who will gather here to change history, confront the status quo, and improve our world. And this may sound hopeful, but I really don't think it's naive. We will be able to look at the problems of the world in the eye and take a deep, compassionate breath and say, Okay, I'm ready. The opportunities for change presented to us are scary and impossible and challenging, and well, maybe we're not ready to take on the world square in the face and change everything. But then again, maybe we are. Ridge and our parents have given us this extraordinary gift and tremendous burden, and when I look at the eclectic brilliance and talent that is unique to this class, I'm confident that we can let our intellect and inner strength guide us to take on the challenges of our generation. And to be honest, I can't think of a greater gift for the world. Thank you.